Hey guys, and welcome back to Monifactory. So last episode we managed to run the blast furnace for the first time and make us some aluminium ingots, which we'll need for today's progression. We also picked up the pyrolyze oven, which was able to give us phenol. And with access to phenol, we could craft our first two MV circuits and also craft the first LV circuit assembler. And all of that was to fix our Pulsating Prediction Matrix automation here, which, well, some mistakes were made. As it turns out, we need a medium voltage chemical reactor to occupy this spot, and also an MV alloy smelter to swap out this LV one. So crafting those two machines and fixing the setup is the primary objective for today, but we'll get some other stuff done. To make any MV machines though, we are going to need some more medium voltage circuits. Alright, well, some time later we have enough material in the circuit assembler right now for 48 MV circuits. And we also have 56 LVs to spare, so we've got a good amount here to get us going into MV. And one of the extra features in EMI I learned how to use is this recipe tree, which can allow you to set your batch size here on the side, and it tells you all of the input ingredients that you need for 48 MV circuits. So like you can set a target like this, and then yeah, you can just gather up the materials in order. And it works on the favorite system I talked about in episode 1. So like for example, the diode recipe. If we favorite the one that we've been using with, this one here, it updates the recipe tree, and you can basically teach EMI all the recipes you want to use, and it will display all the raw materials that you need in order to craft the desired amount of items here, which is super useful. So we're going to let the circuit assembler keep doing its thing, and in the meantime we're going to take some of this aluminium, which is now a quest. That's actually the first time we've picked up the aluminium. Some of it we're going to send into the lathe. We're going to want to make aluminium rods. Let's do 4 stacks of aluminium rods. Yeah, we get 2 per recipe. And we'll do, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of aluminium plates. So we want to make the medium voltage chemical reactor, which is all the way down here in the 3rd quest page. So we're kind of skipping some stuff, which we'll come back for later. But to make this thing, we have to start making the MV components. And one of those is the bronze rotor, or rotors in general. And to make this, we've just been using the crafting recipe so far. But there is a more efficient recipe in the extruder. However, this is MV, and we don't have a way to power MV machines yet. I believe the fluid solidifier is also 4 ingots worth. It's just that it's fluid input. And this is also 4 ingots. And we don't have a fluid solidifier yet, so we're going to make an LV one, which is apparently a quest. We'll stick it down right here for now, I guess. Although it's not really the most ideal location. Ideally, you want the fluid solidifier next to your extractor, which is currently extracting sticky resin for raw rubber pulp. And raw rubber combined with sulfur, which I did go back to the nether for sphalerite, and sulfur is part of the sphalerite vein, so sulfur plus raw rubber pulp inside of the chemical reactor here should make us molten rubber, and this is going to be a much more efficient way to coat cable. So we'll have to send the molten rubber into the assembler, but I'm just going to keep using these reservoirs to transport the fluid. Yeah, we're not going to worry about trying to pipe it in or anything like that at this point in the game. We'll have fully automated systems for this down the line once we have Applied Energistics. But it saves us having to use the... Where is it here? Yeah, this stuff, the rubber sheets to coat cable, since it's a bit more efficient to use the fluid, so we'll do it that way. Now, we do need some bronze for that stuff. I did start making up a whole bunch of bronze as well as cupronickel, which I've been turning into wire, and this 2x cupronickel wire is what's used for the MV electric motor. So along with our aluminium rods, which should be just about finished by now. Plates are also just about finished. Hold on, one item at a time here. Let's start melting our bronze for the rotors. Or wait, did I say rotors or motors? I don't know. But additionally for the motors, we need magnetic steel rods, which we can make in our polarizer, and I did anticipate this, so we have a full stack here. I might put another full stack in this. And then finally for the motor, we also need copper cable, which we are going to use in the assembler, this recipe here. This is what our liquid rubber is going to be for. Normally you get an option to use the rubber sheets, but I guess that's not an option for copper cable. So our MV circuits have finished crafting, right? We have 48. Did I put in extra materials here, or did it just not consume the extra circuits there and the steel plates? I'm not really... I'll have to go back and watch that footage, but we might have... I'm so confused right now. It was 48 steel plates. I don't know what just happened there. I have no idea. Oh, hey there. Hey, nice of you to join us. What are you selling for us? Rubberwood saplings from Thermal Series? And a bunch of garbage. We must destroy the evidence. I have a piece of his robes here. Let's make sure no one knows. And the leads. Alright, so after some crafting, we got ourselves 16 MV machine hulls, along with 24 MV electric motors, and 16 of those I turned into the pistons, which looks very similar to the LV craft. It's just that instead of steel, it's aluminium components, and copper instead of tin cable. So this should be enough for us to get the chemical reactor at MV. We're just missing some glass, which we should have. And the rotors, I believe, should also be finished in the fluid solidifier. Yeah, I made some tin ones as well, which is used in the LV stuff. We'll still be making LV machines and components, even though we have access to MV stuff. But yeah, at long last, there is our advanced chemical reactor, along with our alloy smelter over here. We just need some 4x cupronickel wire. We can do that very, very easily. And the alloy smelter, perfect. So this should be the two machines we need for the Pulsating Prediction Matrix automation. We do need to power these machines, and while it is possible to power it from the LV cable, because we only have an 8x converter here and we're using most of those amps on LV machines, we're not going to get enough amperage to the machine at the end of the line by the time it powers all the LV machines along the way. So we have to make another MV converter for this. And since we're only powering the two machines, we're just going to make the MV 4 amp energy converter. So now we can swap out this LV alloy smelter, and we'll have to set the filters, same as we had in the last episode, just to make sure that we don't fill the two slots with one item. So robot arm, keep exact, and import. Oh, and it even keeps the filters here, it just doesn't keep the amounts. So we want to set these to 64, and same for this one. Nice. Then we just need to set up the power situation here. So we're going to do energy converter right here. For now, we're going to use copper cable, but it's actually more efficient to use energetic alloy cable, since copper cable does have some EU loss. So in the tooltip there, you can see we do lose 2 EU loss per block. So that means every 2 blocks this travels, we lose 2 EU in the cable. And we could end up in a situation where we don't feed enough power to the machines if the cable is long enough, and you're using basically not lossless cable, which we are here, but we will switch out eventually. Oh, and we're some cable short. Oh, and yeah, I don't think I mentioned this last time, but we have an issue with fire here because we have lava under the drawers can burn. So I haven't actually seen it destroy the drawer yet, and it's happened several times. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it for now, but we do have to feed energy into this converter, obviously. So we need to give RF to the converter. And yeah, the reason it's here is just to minimize cable loss, because the conduits don't lose any power the longer they run. And we are totally going to spaghetti this up. But that should give the machines power, right? Yes, the energy converter now has power. The alloy smelter has power, and the chemical reactor has power. Perfect. Yeah, okay, so now to get this working, all we need to do is put a conveyor on this electrolyzer, which I forgot last time. Set it to import. That's going to electrolyze the glass into quartz. And now we're chemically reacting resonant ender with nether quartz for resonant clathrates. Auto output to the top, and yes we are, and that goes via this pipe here into this drawer. then into our brand new alloy smelter, and we're now making Pulsating Prediction Matrix. So I'm not sure we can sustain this power-wise, because obviously it takes a lot more RF to convert into EU to power an MV converter. And obviously right now all the buffers are full. And I also just noticed there that we shouldn't have this LV cable connected to the MV machine. I mean, it does work, I just don't want the LV power to be sent here when we have the MV converter. And that is powered underneath here with this copper cable. So yeah, this one is copper, and the LV one kind of snakes around this item pipe down here, which feeds fuel to the furnaces and then goes to the converter. So just to recap one more time, we're doing cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to dust, dust to clay, then into the alloy smelter with pulsating dust to make our pulsating prediction matrix. The pulsating dust is made on the opposite side. So once again, we're doing cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to glass this time, glass to nether quartz, pulled in this drawer, then into the chemical reactor, nether quartz plus resonant ender, which is supposed to be extracted from this basic extractor. We still need to fix our supply of ender pearls, but then it goes to the furnace, and then from the furnace into the drawer, pulled in by the robot arm, and we should be left with a surplus of pulsating prediction matrix, which we are first of all going to use to power an enderman data model, and that way we can have fully passive ender pearls, send those into the extractor, and make the whole system self-sustaining. And now the next day we have achieved such a goal. This is now a fully passive and self-sustaining system. So in order for us to craft the loot fabricator, we had to mix glowstone, redstone and gold in a mixer. The mixer we have, the gold we had, and the redstone we are running out of, but we can manage. But the glowstone we have not found any glowstone yet. Normally in Omnifactory and Nomifactory you can find it in the Lost City structures, but I haven't had such luck. So I used our brand new nether cake and went into the nether. I was searching around the nether for quite a while, picking up a decent amount of glowstone. And I also picked up some nether quartz, as that of course spawns as nether quartz veins. And then before I left, I also made sure to grab a Certus quartz vein, which is different to nether quartz. So the nether quartz vein has quartzite, so I believe it's nether quartz, quartzite and barite in that vein. And then the Certus quartz has Certus quartz, quartzite and barite. But they are two different veins, so yeah, I made sure to grab a lot of raw Certus, which we'll need for Applied Energistics. And then back at the base, I mixed the redstone, glowstone and gold in the mixer, and that gave us tons and tons of energetic alloy, which has spent a while through the blast furnace, and we are currently at, well, 31, but I've used quite a lot of it for, well, this energetic alloy wire, which is going to be the copper cable's replacement. And I'm actually not used to this, but you cannot coat the energetic alloy wire. It has no recipe to coat it, so it has to stay as wire. So normally in gregtech, cable is coated wire and wire is uncoated cable. That's the difference between them. However, the energetic alloy, as you can see here, is superconductor, and that means it has 0 EU loss per block. So we lose no power, no matter how long this wire is. And in this version, I guess you can't coat superconductor. So I'm hoping it doesn't electrocute us. Normally the cable will electrocute you in other versions of gregtech. But I don't know if that's the case here. I guess we're going to find out. This might be our first death. Oh, I need to replace that with stone. Think. Love that sound. Does it electrocute us? No, it doesn't. Okay, I guess we're safe from superconductor. I'm curious to know if copper cable, or in other words, the uncoated not superconductor wire will electrocute us. That might be something we find out the hard way later on. But yeah, for now we now have superconductor. Not that it was really necessary for this short a distance, but yeah, we now have it here. And the rest of the energetic alloy, I actually used to upgrade the energy conduits. So before we were using conductive iron energy conduits, which can transfer 512 RF a tick per connection, whereas the energetic alloy, which I've now swapped out every conduit in the base so far, is capable of carrying, I think it's 1024, so it doubles it. Oh no, it's 4 times the amount. Yeah, it's 2048 RF a tick, which is pretty good. I don't think we're generating 2048 RF a tick yet. Every dynamo setup is 320. Yeah, we're only generating 1280 RF a tick. But now that we have some excess ender pearls, we can actually use these to create the next material, which is combining energetic alloy and ender pearl dust in a mixer. And that is going to give us vibrant alloy. So I cooked up about 56 earlier on. I think that's all went through the blast furnace so far. Yeah, we've got that, all of that cooked. And this is a very important material we'll need to upgrade our power situation, which is going to be a project for next episode. We do have some more ender pearl dust here coming through, so I'm just going to make all of this into energetic alloy, or vibrant alloy rather. And we should have some more. Yeah, we got plenty of energetic alloy here. So before we move on to our next project of the day, I want to talk about this system here, which is, well, it's not really a system. It's just like, it's another set of dynamos generating us another 320 RF a tick. And that is sending its power into the conduit network and also to some Phytogenic Insolators, which are very cheap in this pack. It just takes some gold, some redstone, copper gears, a bucket, a steel plate, and 2 saplings for a Phytogenic Insulator. And these only use 10 RF a tick, so they are also very efficient and cheap to run. So basically all we're doing here is farming rubber, we're farming cactus, sunflower, and a bunch of flowers here. And we're going to use this for dye. Various dyes is going to be used for concrete, and we're going to use concrete as a primary building block for the base, which I'm hoping to start building very, very soon. However, I did say I wanted to unlock Applied Energistics, which is going to be our next objective for today. I want to get digitised storage. So to do that, we're going to come back to the beginning chapter and pick up some of these quests. Also down here, now that we've unlocked aluminium, we can unlock the next tier of barrel upgrade, which I did craft already. It does offer quite a bit more storage than just the iron one. Well, a little bit more storage. I don't know exactly how much it expands it by, but yeah, we need it for all the resources we now have. I guess I'll just give you an update here on the situation for resources. So we have 2 more ingot chests here, which are pretty much full. This is an ore chest. Lots of quartzite here, which is unprocessed, but we don't really need a ton of quartzite at the moment. Lots of ores here. 1 more ingot chest. The furnace outputs, 1 more ingot chest, and then component chests, which are looking pretty full, along with some of the outputs of the machines, which are still going. I'm trying to make sure that we keep batch crafting as much as we possibly can. And I also did rearrange some of the machines just to make them a bit easier. Like, for example, I put the chemical reactor on this side and put I think it was the lathe on the opposite side, since the chemical reactor can make us the rubber and automatically send that into the assembler to coat wire. So yeah, we're actually looking not too bad on various resources. I think we're doing pretty good for this point in the game. And also those extra circuits that I think we got by mistake, or we shouldn't really have, that weren't consumed in the circuit assembler, I do have them here kept to the side. And I'm not going to use these. I think I might just throw them away. I'm pretty confident after watching the footage back that we shouldn't have those resources. We'll toss them away. We'll toss them, as bad as this feels, because we have them and we can't use them, but I mean, it's cheating otherwise, so I'd rather not use them. And yes, I know I used lava before when there's cactus right here, but say goodbye, circuits and the steel plates. So, Applied Energistics. Many of you will know it's my favorite mod. Well, maybe you won't know that, because it was always a toss-up between Applied Energistics and Ender.io. But Ender.io in this version is a bit buggy and very unfinished. So that's the reason, by the way, we've been using the item pipes and the fluid pipes and not conduits everywhere. I have used conduits right here for the simulation chambers, but I really don't like using them here. They have so many bugs and quirks in this version that they're not really worth it. And we don't have access to fluid filters either for the ender fluid conduits, so even if we had those, which we can now craft with vibrant alloy, yeah, we're pretty much just going to be using GT pipes. There is some other item and fluid transportation options later in the game, Applied Energistics being one of them, although it's not exclusively just Applied Energistics. But if we had some power here, I'm going to start to make some electrum. Maybe just for now, I'm going to stop the simulation chamber. We don't really have a use for Pulsating Prediction Matrix this episode, but we will next time, so yeah, we're just going to pause that so we can have power to these machines. Alright, so for AE2 we want to get to the energy acceptor, and to do that we need Grains of Infinity. To make Grains of Infinity you can ignite bedrock, but there is a better way in this pack. And that is to use an atomic reconstructor, which I think is exclusive to Monifactory, at least the gregtech machine variant. Normally this is actually additions, but that is not in this pack, so yeah, this is now a gregtech machine, and I want to make the MV variant, because there's some recipes later on which are minimum tier MV. So to make the MV one, we're going to need some lead plates. We need a spare MV machine hull, which we should still have. Yes, we've got 13 left. And then we also need a MV emitter, which takes electrum rods. We got those started, copper cable, MV circuits, and a flawless emerald. And to be honest, I probably should have made this much sooner, but we're going to invest in the sifter at LV. I'm going to put it right here. And so even though it's expensive, we're going to buy some emerald ore. Just a stack for now, since we have to macerate it first. So what we're going to do here is macerate. Wait, this is a bit confusing because I'm not used to all the machine textures here. We want to get up here to flawless emerald and we're at ore. Do we need an ore washer as well? I think we might, because we need purified, and to get this you have to ore wash crushed, which is what we get from the macerator. Yeah, okay, it turns out we do need an ore washer, which we're going to craft, and put it right next to the sifter. We'll have to give the ore washer a source of water as well, so I'm just going to use a water collector. And we'll toss in all of this crushed emerald. In the meantime, we're going to need some way to power this atomic reconstructor, which is going to be MV. So for right now, I'm just going to do this with a medium voltage converter. And we can start to look at processing some of the items we need for the AE machines, like Certus quartz. So this was the ore vein we found in the nether. We've got 24 stacks here. I think it's 12 per row. So 4 of those stacks we're going to convert into blocks, and we're going to use our cutting machine to cut the blocks into plates, since it's much more efficient. Yeah, it's much more efficient to use the cutter to cut the blocks into plates, because it's 16 seconds for 4, whereas the compressor is 20 seconds for 1. So it's the same ratio, it's just yeah, it's much less time. Although I guess it is more EU, but we're going to eat the EU cost, because EU is free, it just takes time. Do we have a flawless by now? Oh, we've got 4. Nice, that means we can make our MV emitter. We're just going to make 2, which is probably a quest. Yes, it is. And we can craft our atomic reconstructor. You, my friend, are going to sit right here. And using some of the obsidian dust, which is now finished in our macerator, we're going to turn this into Grains of Infinity. Well, I was about to say it's super fast, but yeah, we're not producing enough energy, which is understandable. Let's just pause it for now. Since we now have that machine, there is one more item I want to reconstruct as early as possible. Cassiterite, yeah, this is a tin vein. Tin right now is not what we're looking for. It's always whatever you're looking for you can't find in Minecraft. As Lashmac says, that is the golden rule. One of the rules of Minecraft, whatever you're searching for just doesn't exist. Oh sweet, some lilacs. We're going to use this for the Phytogenic Insolator, since the double tall flowers give you 2 dye per. Aha, what we're looking for though is kelp. The kelp we're going to cook in the furnace. Then we can put the dried kelp through the atomic reconstructor. That should give us a wither rose, yes, and since we're on peaceful, we can't really get this traditionally. And the wither rose is going to be used for black dye. We'll use this probably the most often to make grey dye. All we have to do is make sure the pipes are shuttered so that the water flows in one direction. And you can do that with a wrench. You should get this little arrow here. So then we want auto input and output. Input and output from the top side, and also input from the bottom. So input from the bottom inputs the water, which is coming from an aqueous accumulator down here. And we just have another LV pump on some steel fluid pipe. So every cycle of the insulator, we get 2 wither roses. And this applies for every single insulator here. We get 2 of them. One of them is going to be sent to the drawer. And then because we have auto input and output from the top side, we can pull that back into the machine. And that should infinitely repeat the process. I know that there is a cyclical processing upgrade, but we need Signalum for this. So yeah, we're just using the drawer as like a way to send the item back into the machine. Oh yeah, and we can swap out the allium one as well for lilac. Oh, I don't have that set up, I guess. Yeah, we'll put it down right here. This is always one of the best parts of any pack, is getting your digitized storage and shift clicking all the items from all these barrels into a digital interface, which we're just about to do here. So as you can see, I made a start on some of the Applied Energistics components. We got the terminal, we got the ME drive, we got the energy acceptor from the Grains of Infinity. And yeah, it's relatively straightforward to put together. The Certus quartz that we got from the Nether really helped us out, and we've went through most of it, to be honest. There's only 2 stacks left in this barrel. Lots of it is used to make silicon, which is smelted Certus quartz dust. And silicon, as you're probably aware, goes through the inscriber to make printed silicon, which will turn into processors. I've also charged some of the Certus quartz ore in this brand new charger. And these 2 devices here are not as bad as 1.12 because they accept stacks of items, and you can input and output from any side. The 1.12 ones were so annoying to use, but we do have other options in this pack, and it is definitely nice that we have the mixer recipe for Fluix. It's always hard to say how many storage cells you should start with, but I've got enough here for 10 4Ks, and we are now out of LV circuits. We still have 25 MVs though. Anyway, let's start to put all this together. We'll make our cell housings. And this should allow us to combine the storage components into 4K ME storage cells. Oh, and the quest also mentions about the ME controller. So in this pack, channels are disabled, so we don't have to worry about channel management, but apparently this does allow our network to consume less power if we use a controller. It's relatively inexpensive to upgrade, so we're just going to go ahead and do so, and it looks better anyways. Lots of quests here, and we hook up to some power. Controller, cable, ME drive here, ME terminal, throw in the 4Ks, and we should be able to do one of the most satisfying things in modded Minecraft, which is just to do this. Oh, wait, what was going on here? For me, it's always number of items, stored craftable, show all, ascending, and oh, this is new. Search settings, we want use JEI. Close JEI search. Wait, no, we want use AE. Yeah, I don't want it to sync with the EMI search here. Yeah, the rest is fine, and we can also put this on, yeah, full height looks probably the best for this GUI scale. Oh, and fine red alloy wire was the first item that made it into our AE system. Alright, let's see if everything fits here. Let's try to get all the items. I'm going to break these barrels, but we'll soon move our AE system anyways. It's just here temporarily. It's easy to move all the items once we have them on discs, but let's see if it all works here. Does space click work? Oh yes, space click works. Space click doesn't work in other inventories because we have mouse tweaks and not inventory essentials. Yeah, like I can't space click all the items here. We have to do that double click thing from vanilla. But it does work inside the AE terminal, which is nice. Oh, this is so nice. We didn't make a crafting terminal either. Oh, this is absolutely amazing. It's so nice having Applied Energistics now. I guess we'll toss in all this as well. I'm going to leave the ore, I think. Yeah, the 2 ore chests that we have. I guess we can toss all this in as well. Well, the good news is that all of our items fit. We still have a couple of things in the output of the machines, and like these drawers here and the ores, of course, but apart from that, everything else fits inside the terminal. Question is, does the gregtech wrenches work on AE components? Oh, nice, it does. Okay. Yeah, let's upgrade it to the crafting terminal. That gives us a crafting screen inside the terminal as well. And with that milestone unlocked, we're going to wrap up the episode right here. I'm probably going to move this actually, but yeah, thank you very much once again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Monifactory, where we should start to be able to build our base. Yeah, it's going to be fun.